Calculation of interest on partners' capital. A and B are partners in the ratio of 3:2. The firm maintains fluctuating capital accounts and the balance of the same as on 31st March amounted to rupees 1,60,000 and rupees 1,40,000 for A and B respectively. Now here it is mentioned that 1,60,000 and 1,40,000 are the balances as on 31st March. So these are the closing capital balances of the partners. Their drawings during the year were 30,000 each. As per the partnership deed, interest on capital at 10% per annum on opening capital has been provided to them. Okay, so now interest on capital is provided on the opening capital. So we have to find out the opening capital in order to calculate the interest on capital. Calculate the opening capitals of the partners. Given that their profits were rupees 90,000, show your working clearly. Okay, so now let's begin with the sum. In the sum, we are asked to calculate the opening capitals of the partners. Okay, so let's draw the format now. First, for the opening capital of the partners, for calculation of the opening capital, it would be the two partners' accounts and your particulars. So our heading would be fluctuating opening capital. Of partners. Particulars. The two partners' names A and B. Okay, so now what is given? I've left some space on top for preparing our working notes. Okay, and then we're going to start with the sum here. We'll start directly with the sum, the working as and when required. We'll do in the working notes column. First is our closing capital. Closing capital for A is 1,60,000 and for B it's 1,40,000. Okay, the next thing what we have to do is add drawings. So we'll add drawings. Drawings is 30,000 for each of the partners. Okay, so now how much do we get? $1,90,000 and 1,70,000. Next, we have to subtract the profits. Okay, now can we subtract 90,000 over here? The profit is 90,000. Can we divide this 90,000 in the ratio of 3:2 and subtract it over here between the partners A and B? No, we cannot do that. Why? Because the profit of rupees 90,000, it includes our interest on capital as well. Okay, so the profits over here, which we will be calculating, we'll write over here working note 1. Okay, these are the profits that we are going to put over here. These are going to be your appropriate profits. Now what are the appropriate profits? The appropriate profits are the profits that we get after paying the interest on capital to the partners. Okay, so now we'll go to our working notes and calculate the actual profits that the firm has earned. Since it's our working notes, no need to do no need to be very precise and neat in your calculation, in your work over here. Closing capital is combined closing capital is 3 lakhs. Okay, we'll add drawings. Drawings is combined drawings 60,000. So we get minus our net profit is 90,000. So how much do we get? We get 2,70,000. This 2,70,000, it's inclusive of interest on capital. Okay, so now in order to do the appropriation, we've got to reduce the interest on capital. Now how do we find out the interest on capital before how do we find out the interest on capital? We can find out the interest on capital by only doing the appropriation, right? So we'll prepare the profit and loss appropriation account. This is again our rough account. It would be by net profit 90,000 less to interest on capital. Interest on capital would be 2,70,000 into 10%. Okay, that would be 27,000. So now how much amount goes to each partner? Two profits. Now this profits will be transferred to your current accounts, right? Since the capitals are fluctuating over here, so it would be 90,000 minus 27,000 is 63,000. Now this amount of 63,000 will be divided, say this amount of 63,000 will be divided between the partners A and B in the ratio of 3:2. So how much does each person get? A will get 37,800 and B earns a profit of 25,200. Okay, so we'll bring out these profits amount in our working, not in our working, in our answer. So less our profits are 37,800 and 25,200. Now we get 1,52,200 and 1,44,800. Now this amount of 1,52,200 and 1,44,800, this is our opening capital, including interest on capital. Now this amount, it includes the interest on capital. Now you may wonder that over here we've already calculated the interest on capital and we found out the profits. Now why again over here we are saying that this amount includes the interest on capital? That is because, see, over here this 27,000, how did we get? We got from this calculation, right? Closing capital plus your drawings minus your net profit. On this we calculated 10% and we got 27,000. This 27,000 we only calculated for the sake of appropriating. This was not for the sake of finding your opening. This is not our opening capital, right? This is not our opening capital. This is not a combined opening capital. This amount, it included our interest on capital. So we separated the interest on capital from this amount in order to find out our profits as individual profits of the two partners. Now that we found the individual profits, we actually got the opening capital including the interest on capital. Okay, so now on this opening capital amount, which includes the interest on capital, we've got to subtract the actual interest on capital. Now how do we find the interest on capital? Less interest on, you can't write IOC in exam, interest on capital. Okay, now we just have to do the reciprocal. The interest on capital from your opening capital would be 10%, right, into 10 by 100. Now since this amount includes the interest on capital, we've got to do the reciprocal in order to find out only the interest on capital. So it would be the rate 100. What is the rate? The rate amount is 10 by 10 plus 100, that would be 110. Okay, into this amount. So what would it be? It's actually rate by rate plus 100. So we'll take for this, or we'll take for partner A, it is 1,52,200 into rate is 10 by 110. Okay, now if we divide, we'll get 13,836. And similarly for partner B, it would be 1,44,800 into 10 by 110. Okay, and then if we divide, we'll get 13,164. Now we've got, this is our actual interest on capital. Now these amounts, we'll bring it down. 13,836 to be subtracted and 13,164 to be subtracted. Okay, when we subtract, we get 1,38,364, 1,31,636. This is our actual opening capital.